This is the F-22 Raptor, the most lethal and dominant air-to-air fighter jet in the world. Upwards of 1,500 miles per hour, while carving through the sky with its stealth technology and thrust vectoring capabilities, the F-22 has certainly earned the title King of the Sky.
Like a razor-sharp falcon soaring through the clouds with deadly precision, the F-22 Raptor has unleashed a maelstrom of shock and awe.
Welcome to the rear of the F-22. We've got two Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines capable of producing 35,000 pounds of thrust apiece, so that's 70,000 pounds of thrust.
Leaving China's military strategists scrambling to counter its unparalleled superiority. The Raptor's sleek, aerodynamic design slices through the air with effortless ease, its engines roaring like thunder as it leaves a trail of destruction in its wake.
Some attributes that make it so lethal are stealth capability, our super cruise, our sensor fusion, and our ability to have high situational awareness in the current battle space.
Will the F-22 Raptor prove to be the ultimate game changer in the skies? Or will China's military find a way to tame its fury? Join us as we delve into the details of the F-22 Raptor and how it shocked China. The United States keeps the tactical advantage. The United States Air Force recently deployed its F-22 Raptors, frequently hailed as the world's most advanced stealth fighter jets, to Japan's Kadena Air Base. This strategic move highlights the United States' commitment to maintaining air superiority in the Pacific amidst increasing tensions with China. Kadena Air Base, often called the Keystone of the Pacific, has hosted United States fighter aircraft since the end of World War II. In 1979, the base received F-15 fighter jets, which have been a continuous presence ever since. However, in 2023, the Air Force began phasing out the two squadrons of F-15C and D Eagles, replacing them with a rotational mix of F-16s, F-35s, and F-22s. The phase-out of the F-15C and D Eagles marks a transition towards utilizing more advanced fighter jets to reinforce America's aerial dominance in this region. Furthermore, this deployment gains additional importance given China's rapid deployment of its J-20 stealth fighters. Wuyishan Air Base in China's Fujian province, located just 600 miles from Kadena, has recently seen a significant upgrade. Formerly home to nearly dozens of obsolete Shenyang J-6W fighters converted to armed drones and various older jets, the base recently received 6 Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon fighter jets, according to the Air Force's China Aerospace Studies Institute. The J-20, China's fifth-generation fighter jet, symbolizes the country's aggressive military buildup. The 41st Aviation Brigade at Wuyishan is reportedly transitioning from older jets to these advanced J-20s, which will significantly enhance China's air capabilities. Given the proximity of Wuyishan to Kadena and the increased deployment of advanced fighters on both sides, experts suggest that potential encounters between US F-22 Raptors and Chinese J-20s in international airspace are highly plausible. Therefore, this deployment of Raptors to Kadena is likely a strategic response to the growing presence of J-20s, ensuring that the US maintains a technological and tactical edge in the region. The F-22 Raptor, the world's most advanced stealth fighter. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor is a groundbreaking fifth-generation stealth fighter. Born from the Advanced Tactical Fighter program, the F-22 boasts air superiority capabilities, along with ground attack, electronic warfare, and signals intelligence functionalities. The ATF program began in 1981 when the USAF recognized a need to begin replacing its aging fleet of F-15 Eagle and F-16 Fighting Falcon fighter jets with a newer and more technologically advanced air superiority fighter. Although the jet's maiden flight took place in 1997, the F-22 did not enter service until December 2005. The USAF initially planned to acquire 750 F-22s, but budgetary constraints in 2009 led to a reduction to 187. Production of the F-22 was halted in 2011 after the completion of 187 aircraft due to increasing costs, perceived limited relevance in counterinsurgency warfare, and growing support for the more cost-effective F-35. The USAF decided to instead focus its efforts on making ongoing upgrades to its existing fleet to keep them modern. The F-22 has received several such updates and enhancements. These upgrades include improvements in ground attack capabilities, air combat systems, and more reliable stealth coatings. Additionally, the aircraft has undergone a structural retrofit program to address airframe issues that have arisen. Despite facing initial operational challenges, the F-22 has proven to be a critical asset in the USAF's tactical air power arsenal. Its stealth capabilities, aerodynamic performance, and advanced mission systems help to set the bar for its generation. With an expected service life until at least the 3030s, the F-22 will eventually be replaced by the next-generation air dominance fighter. Significantly enhanced operators. The F-22's advanced technologies and classified features led to its prohibition from export under U.S. federal law. Despite interest from countries such as Australia, Japan, and Israel, the F-22 was not made available for foreign purchase, leading these nations to opt primarily for the F-35. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor's design combines stealth technology and sensor fusion, creating a formidable platform for counter-air operations. With a top speed of more than Mach 2 with afterburners and Mach 1.8 at military power, the F-22 boasts high cruise speeds and operating altitudes, enhancing sensor and weapon system effectiveness while increasing survivability against ground defenses. The F-22's integrated avionics system employs sensor fusion to process data from onboard and offboard sensors. These significantly enhance the pilot's situational awareness while reducing workload. The radar and electronic warfare system, meanwhile, equip the F-22 with further enhanced threat detection and identification capabilities. Data can be seamlessly transferred to other aircraft via various communication systems. Inside the cockpit, the F-22 boasts a glass cockpit with all digital flight instruments and a monochrome heads-up display. The pilot operates the aircraft using a force-sensitive side-stick controller, throttles, and an integrated control panel. The life support system features an onboard oxygen generation system and protective pilot garments for various combat environments. The jet includes 3 internally housed weapons bays, including space and launchers capable of handling beyond visual range missiles and short-range missiles. The aircraft also includes an internally mounted M61A2 Vulcan 20mm rotary cannon. Although primarily designed for air-to-air combat, the F-22 can also conduct some air-to-surface operations by replacing 4 main bay launchers with 2 bomb racks. The F-22's stealth design drastically reduces its radar cross-section and infrared signature through airframe shaping, radar-absorbent materials, and other advanced techniques. To further enhance its stealth capabilities, the F-22 has undergone further upgrades over the years, such as a new chrome-like surface coating that reduces infrared tracking, a replacement for the old guard. F-22 Raptors sent to Okinawa to bolster U.S. air power in response to rising tensions with China. The United States Air Force has sent 2 F-22 Raptor squadrons to Okinawa to replace its retired F-15 Eagles. The 199th and 99th Fighter Squadrons were sent to Kadena Air Base on March 28th. The 2 F-22 squadrons will be deployed on rotation at Kadena as the U.S. bolsters its air power in the region. According to a USAF statement, the 5th-generation fighters will work in conjunction with additional heavy, reconnaissance, and 4th-generation fighters, along with 5th-generation fighter assets on the ground. The F-22 Raptor has been stationed in Kadena before, most recently in November 2022. Interestingly, an F-22 was recently pictured fitted with external stealth fuel tanks and an infrared search and track pod, equipment well suited to the vast space of the Indo-Pacific. The move comes amid rising tensions in the region, particularly with China ramping up production of J-20 fighter jets and flexing its regional power. The most recent reports have China producing up to 120 J-20 jets a year, more than double its production rate last year. After announcing the phased retirement of its F-15 C and D Eagle squadrons in Kadena back in 2022, the 18th Wing has been rotating fighter squadrons at the base as it mulls over a permanent replacement. Various fighters have been deployed in the region, including F-35A Lightning IIs from Alaska and F-16s usually stationed in Germany. The USAF has plans to station a smaller number of F-15s in Okinawa than previously thought, down from 48 aircraft to 36, although these will be the more advanced F-15EX. As for the F-22 Raptor, the US will eventually retire the stealth plane in favor of a 6th-generation, next-generation air dominance fighter, for which the Raptor will act as a test bed for new technologies. Kadena Air Base benefits from a prime strategic location within range of Japan, Taiwan, Guam, and other important regional cities, giving it its name as the Keystone of the Pacific. Also boasting extensive naval facilities, it is a crucial United States presence in the region and would be central to any future conflict with China. There are more than 100 military aircraft stationed at the base, supporting a wide variety of missions. The F-22 Raptor, the complete air warlord. The F-22 Raptor is widely touted as the world's most capable air superiority fighter jet. As a fifth-generation stealth aircraft, the F-22 packs some incredible technologies in a highly maneuverable supersonic platform, but it is also a very strange aircraft in certain regards. Despite being the best in its role, the Pentagon decided to buy only 186 aircraft out of the intended 750. Furthermore, Congress shut the door to any prospective buyers, forbidding Lockheed Martin, the manufacturer, from ever selling the aircraft abroad. But how could an aircraft that is so good at its job get shut down so quickly into production? And why couldn't the United States sell it to the many foreign buyers who were rushing to purchase it? Introduced in 2005, the F-22 Raptor was intended to replace the venerable F-15 Eagle as America's next air superiority fighter jet that would last well into the 2040s. As an air dominance, multi-role fighter, the F-22 was the first fifth-generation stealth fighter jet to fly. It combines advanced technology, such as stealth, sensor fusion to produce superb situational awareness, and an airframe that is highly maneuverable and can supercruise or fly at supersonic speeds without the use of afterburners. What makes the F-22 great in a dogfight is the aircraft's thrust vectoring capabilities. Its two engines have specially designed nozzles at their ends that can move on a vertical plane to vector the aircraft's 70,000 pounds of thrust in one direction, even if the aircraft is heading in another, thus allowing the F-22 to do some impressive acrobatics, as well as leverage an extremely high angle of attack during a within visual range engagement. The F-22 is quite versatile when it comes to the armament it can carry. For a combat air patrol, the Raptor can carry 2 AIM-9 Sidewinder heat-seeking air-to-air missiles and 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM radar-guided missiles. For close air support or precision strike missions, the F-22 can carry 2 1,000-pound GBU-32 JDAMs or 8 250-pound small-diameter bombs, in addition to pairs of both AIM-9s and AIM-120s. In all of these loadouts, the aircraft's M61, a 220mm cannon, with 480 rounds, ensures a fearsome foe in dogfights. Equally important, it can carry all the aforementioned munitions within its 3 internal weapons bays, meaning that the aircraft doesn't sacrifice any stealth to carry all that firepower. In comparison, America's other stealth fighter jet, the F-35, can only carry 4 weapons in its 2 internal bays, with an operational ceiling of 50,000 feet and a range of almost 1,900 miles with 2 external fuel tanks that would limit its stealth capabilities. The F-22 can fly at speeds above Mach 2. Despite the aircraft's great characteristics, the F-22 program was short-lived. As in many cases involving humans, and as Mark Knopfler of the Dire Straits famously quipped, it seems it was that the timing was wrong. This fighter jet is absolutely off the market. Over the years, Israel, Japan, and Australia had repeatedly asked the Pentagon about potential purchases of the F-22 Raptor, but every time they were shot down. In 1998, Congress even voted for an amendment that explicitly forbids the sale of F-22 Raptors to foreign nations. Unlike the vast majority of United States military aircraft, the F-22 was never designed to be exported. As such, it was packed with classified technology and produced through advanced production methodologies that the United States would rather keep close to the chest. To date, the United States remains the leader in stealth aviation technologies the world over. China and Russia are always eager to steal technology from the United States to advance their own military and private industries, and they have repeatedly succeeded in doing so. Perhaps most notably, when China used cyber espionage and an insider source to get a hold of the F-35, F-22, and C-130 blueprints in 2016. And exports of military aircraft have backfired in the past. Iran is still flying the American-made F-14 Tomcats the Shah had bought before the Iranian Revolution, while communist Venezuela protects its skies with American-made F-16s it bought in the 1980s. China's highly capable J-10 fighter was largely based on America's own F-16 after the United States exported related technologies to Israel, only to have their Lavi fighter program dissolve, at which point Israel sold those technologies to China. But despite these concerns, the Department of Defense still entertained the idea of selling it abroad. According to the War Zone, which managed to get a redacted copy of the Air Force's F-22 Raptor export feasibility project through the Freedom of Information Act, the Pentagon did entertain the idea of exporting its most advanced fighter jet at the time. Several Air Force offices conducted studies with different variables on what such an export program would look like. But bottom line, Congress never authorized the money to fund an export version of the F-22, and foreign suitors were already eyeing another, even more expensive project, the F-35. Mighty Dragon, the Chengdu J-20, Chinese fighter jet's capabilities. The Chengdu J-20 is China's first stealth fighter aircraft, aiming to stay undetected. Manufactured by the Chengdu Aerospace Corporate, the Chengdu J-20, commonly known as the Mighty Dragon, is a twin-jet stealth fighter aircraft developed for the People's Liberation Army Air Force. First taking flight on January 11, 2011, the 13-year-old aircraft was officially introduced into service on March 9, 2017. As of 2023, 210 to 250 are in service, making China the first Asian country to operate stealth aircraft. Stealth aircraft are designed and manufactured especially to avoid detection. The development of the J-20 emerged in the late 90s from the JXX, and in 2008, the PLAF endorsed Project 718. By 2010, the first variant prototype underwent high-speed taxiing tests at the Chengdu Aircraft Design Institute. Throughout its design and testing phases, several changes were made to the original J-20 prototype. These changes were made to increase the sophistication of the design. The aircraft was modified to introduce diverters, supersonic inlet intakes, underwing fairings, and alternative vertical stabilizers. Additional equipment was added, such as integrated targeting pods and 6 additional infrared sensors around the fuselage. By 2015, the latest J-20 variant, which included low-rate initial production, was spotted by observers, which meant the manufacturing had encountered, at this point, 8 prototype airframes, and then 1, including LREP. After patiently waiting this long, in 2017, the Chinese state broadcaster officially noted that the J-20 designs were finalized, and mass production was set to commence, with its first introduction to service taking off that March. What is expected? While the media quickly noted that the aircraft was ready for takeoff, the manufacturers faced a list of technical challenges that had to be overcome, including the reliability of the WS-15 engine. Additional adoptions were needed for its stealth coatings, flight control system, and hull materials. By September 2017, a new prototype, nicknamed 2021, had been seen in flight testing with the WS-10 engine and a saw-toothed serrated edge by its afterburning nozzles. Adapted variants will then be in production by 2019. With increased presence of the United States Air Force across the Asia-Pacific region, the Chengdu Aircraft Corporation has accelerated manufacturing and delivery of the variant to ensure a fair counterbalance in the Pacific. An aviation analyst, Rick Zhou, believes that the fleet of J-20 could exceed 1,000 airframes by the turn of the decade. While the J-20 isn't dominating the stealth aircraft industry, it does precisely what the Chinese military had planned. It is China's first stealth military plane and is a growing clog in its sizable aviation armed forces. China's Air Force and Navy make up the 3rd largest in the world, and they have 1,900 fighter jets, including the J-20. Chinese officials have noted that the J-20 is used by all 5 of its theater commands, which includes those to intercept U.S. jets that cross over its territory in the East China Sea. However, according to Business Insider, it is not a dominant aircraft when you compare it to the stealth jets of the United States Air Force, which include the F-22 and F-35. That doesn't mean it's not a cause of concern for the U.S., which is keeping a close eye on the Chinese forces. The Chinese copying the United States. With continued improvement in the aircraft and the Chinese military fleet, U.S. Air Force officers are unconvinced that these aircraft will eventually be able to keep up with America's evolving military 5th-generation aircraft. Head of U.S. Pacific Forces, General Kenneth Wilsbach, alluded to the Chinese copying the U.S. aircraft at the Air and Space Forces Association conference last October. They've done some good work with copying the U.S., frankly, because pretty much most of the technology in that airplane is stolen from the U.S. By 2049, China's People's Liberation Army plans to have a world-class military before 2049, which will mark the centenary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The F-22 Raptor boasts incredible radar-evading capabilities, advanced avionics, and impressive agility. The J-20 Chengdu uses radar-absorbent materials, internal weapon bays, and serrated engine nozzles to minimize radar visibility. The F-22 is superior in dogfighting capabilities with more missiles, maneuverability, and an internal cannon. But which one of these beasts comes out on top in this epic battle? The latest generation of air superiority fighters aims to gain an edge over the enemy, not through overwhelming firepower, but rather through speed and stealth. 2 primary stealth-configured supersonic air superiority fighters are in service today, both of which boast unique specifications, advanced features, and, most importantly, radar-evading technology. The first of these fighters is the impressive American Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor, a supersonic all-weather stealth fighter that first entered service with the United States Air Force in 2005. In total, only 195 Raptors were ever built, and the production line was shut down in 2011, with the Department of Defense choosing to prioritize the multi-role F-35 Lightning II. Among the few air superiority fighters in the sky that have the potential to compete with the Raptor, the Chengdu J-20, which is in service with the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force, is among the most dynamic. The aircraft's upgraded stealth technologies make it a formidable enemy. In this article, we will examine the Chengdu J-20's stealth and operational capabilities in more detail. F-22 Raptor vs. J-20 Mighty Dragon. Before comparing the stealth technologies available on board each aircraft, it is important to take a deeper look at the development and backstory of each aircraft. As the F-22 came first chronologically, it is an ideal starting point, and it is important to note that the J-20 and the F-22 are both nearly identical in design. While the F-22 was originally designed to completely replace the Air Force's former primary air superiority all-purpose fighter, the F-15, the aircraft was never produced in such large numbers. However, the technological advances undertaken by the aircraft have allowed it to become among the most capable and lethal fighters to ever enter the skies. The aircraft's incredible radar-evading capabilities are the primary feature that makes the F-22 Raptor such an unbelievably deadly fighter. The aircraft boasts a radar cross-section the size of a marble when operating at maximum stealth, making the aircraft nearly invisible to even the most advanced military radars, according to the United States Air Force. The aircraft's advanced avionics and weapon systems allow the aircraft to engage with targets far beyond visual range. The aircraft's impressive agility and unbeatable thrust-to-weight ratio, exceeding 1:1, make the jet a formidable adversary. The plane offers an unrivaled combination of the following factors: stealth, advanced technology, maneuverability, power. The aircraft's stealth does have one key weakness, however, one which all aircraft operating in a stealth configuration will encounter. When opening its bay doors to fire weapons, the aircraft's radar cross-section increases drastically, which could reveal its position to an enemy. By this time, it could be all too late for any fighter trying to outrun or outmaneuver the Raptor. J-20 Stealth Overview. The J-20, which is China's most advanced air superiority stealth fighter, combines several techniques and design decisions intended to minimize the plane's radar cross-section. The aircraft's airframe maintains a few key differences from the F-22 Raptor, including double-nose canards. The aircraft, however, shares several similarities with its American counterpart, including a nose radar dome and electroconductive cockpit canopy designed to reduce the plane's signature. Supersonic inlets drastically obscure the engines from radar, and features, including internal weapon bays and radar-absorbent coatings, were utilized to diminish visibility. The aircraft also features serrated engine nozzles and several components designed with lighter metals and radar-absorbent materials. The aircraft also features a removable radar reflector, which further helps to conceal the plane's visibility from enemy radar. Military analysts have routinely acknowledged that the J-20's stealth capabilities push beyond those of the Russian Su-57 fighter, according to Military Watch magazine. In the presence of background radar clutter, as expected in a combat zone, the J-20 stealth can prove both effective and deadly. When holding the F-22 and the J-20 side by side, it can be extremely difficult to identify too many noticeable differences that could allow for a conclusive decision as to which offers superior stealth performance. Furthermore, the two jets have yet to come into conflict with each other, and perhaps a dogfight may be the only way to determine which aircraft maintains superior cloaking technologies. There have been a couple of times when the J-20 Chengdu's stealth superiority has been called into question, most notably in May 2018, when an Indian Air Chief Marshal claimed that other fighters could spot the jet. In a press conference, Birender Singh Dhanoa claimed that Indian Su-30 MKI fighters could detect a J-20 multiple kilometers away, according to the national interest. Regarding stealth performance, the J-20's canards have also raised eyebrows from military analysts, who have traditionally maintained that such surfaces would increase an aircraft's radar cross-signature. The F-22 does not have these control surfaces, and is also set to undergo an $8 billion upgrade that will improve the aircraft's stealth performance. Military analysts do not disagree, however, that the F-22 Raptor would have a significant leg up over its Chinese counterpart in a dogfight, because it offers more air-to-air missiles and superior maneuverability. Additionally, the aircraft maintains an internal cannon for short-range engagements, something the J-20 lacks. F-22 stays in the game. The U.S. Air Force is upgrading the F-22 Raptor against growing threats like the J-20 stealth fighter. One of the problems the U.S. Air Force is having with the F-22 Raptor is that 195 Raptors were produced between 1997 and 2012, and a somewhat lower number are available for air combat in April 2024. The F-22 Raptor's unique combination of stealth and maneuverability, a decent internal air-to-air missile magazine, and a 20mm gun make the F-22 Raptor one of the most dominant fighters today. Additionally, the F-22 has been slowly upgraded over the decades to contain a qualitative edge over other nations' top air superiority fighters, like the People's Republic of China J-20 and Russia's Su-57. With the United States considering the People's Republic of China the pacing threat due to its designs on the Republic of China, Taiwan, and other aggressive actions, there is concern that the circa 1990s design F-22 Raptor may have difficulty going up against the 2000's design Chengdu J-20. However, the J-20 was designed to help deal with the Pacific Ocean's tyranny of distance, whereas the F-22 was designed more for the European theater, where threats are closer. Although the next-generation air dominance fighter is well into development, the increasing number and increasingly improving J-20 jets make the U.S. Air Force nervous, adding range and improved sensors plus communications. Although the F-22 Raptor has a published range of 460 nautical miles with some margin for supercruise, more range is needed for the F-22 to operate in the Pacific. For instance, Guam is 1,716 miles from Taiwan, and Yokota Air Base in central Japan is almost 700 miles from Seoul, South Korea, which is close to the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. An F-22 combat range of 530 miles is insufficient, and with no stealthy aerial refuelers in the U.S. Air Force's inventory, this is going to pose a problem with J-20s, with a 700-mile range designed to seek out refuelers and other support aircraft at range. As such, according to Popular Mechanics and other sources, the latest F-22s are due stealthy fuel tanks, aka low-drag tanks and pylons, that do not return radar as much as the current standard-issue drop tanks the F-22 Raptor uses. This addresses the F-22 range problem. Below, on the inner wing pylons, are the new stealthy fuel tanks caught already being flight tested on an F-22. Additionally, the F-22 Raptor will be getting infrared search and track, or IRST capability, via 2 wingtip pods, as pictured above and illustrated at the top of this story. As per the proposed 2025 U.S. Air Force budget, the intent is to maintain air superiority and preserve first look, first shot, and first kill capability. Another upgrade, according to the March 27, 2024 Air and Spaces Force magazine, and again, the proposed 2025 U.S. Air Force budget, is the Controlled Reception Pattern Antenna, which will counter global positioning system jamming. This will go alongside efforts to upgrade the GPS antenna, which coincides with other radio upgrades to ensure secure information sharing between combat aircraft. According to the 2025 U.S. Air Force budget, one more upgrade is to perform studies and prototyping for an advanced threat warning receiver. This way, the F-22 can detect adversary radars better. There are also efforts to upgrade the F-22's ability to learn of approaching missiles. Below, you can see how an F-22 Raptor can react by deploying flares like the F-22 demo team did at an air show last year. Speaking of missiles, the F-22 Raptor is the first weapons platform intended to receive the top-secret AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. The new air-to-air missile has a more extended range than the AIM-120D and a better seeker head. Sadly, not every F-22 Raptor will get these upgrades. This begs the question: an expensive outlay. Those cost and time-prohibitive F-22 Raptors are the 32 Block 20 F-22s that lack the Block 30 and 35 capabilities, like the latest radar and compatibility with the U.S. Air Force's latest and most precise weapons, like the AIM-120D and AIM-9X air-to-air missiles plus the small-diameter bomb, much less the AIM-260 JATM, as mentioned earlier. Additionally, according to a March 31, 2022, Air and Space Forces magazine article shared with the magazine that the Block 30 and 35 upgrades versus the Block 20s used for training are such that the differences between the two types of F-22 Raptor are requiring F-22 Raptor pilots to unlearn some of their formal training. However, the cost to upgrade each of the Block 20s is $50 million a pop for over versus a new F-35 Lightning II at $82,500,000, as per a recent Simple Flying analysis. But that's not the only fighter jet the U.S. Air Force wants. Enter the costs to finish developing and get enough of the next-generation air dominance fighter on hand to replace the F-22 Raptor. As profiled above, NGAD will not just build on the F-22 and F-35, but also work collaboratively with autonomous aircraft to reduce the number of human pilots required. The F-22 Raptor is getting massive upgrades to meet growing threats. The U.S. Air Force is no longer facing combat against just insurgents, but near-peer competitors. And at least one of those competitors in Russia exports their combat aircraft. As such, the US Air Force had to enhance the combat aircraft on hand, such as the F-22 Raptor. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.